Give me a minute.
Sorry, Mr. Belfort.
Forbes made me a superstar. Every day, dozens of money-crazed kids beat a path to my door.
Jordan Belfort started his rise in Korea when the motto of the decade was "Greed is good." I wonder if 22 months in jail, losing everything, and having to start his life from scratch had anyway changed him as a person, and if money still has the same meaning and value in his present life.
I'm looking at the Jordan Belfort now, obviously, older, wiser, and just as successful. How has it changed your perception of wealth and success and rich? And do you still feel that it is important to have the wealth, to be rich? And because a lot of people want to have the wealth, a lot of people want to be rich. They like being successful. Maybe they like to live the fast life, right, and so on. How has it fundamentally changed?
Well, listen, I still think money is incredibly important, like oxygen. You can't breathe without it. But imagine it this way. I always, great metaphors when you're taking off on a plane and you're about to go into the sky. They give you that little warning. They say, if for some reason those little masks fall out, right, and the cabin depressurizes, they say, put your mask on first before you even put your own child's mask on, because if you can't breathe the oxygen, you're not strong, you can't help anybody else. So I believe that money allows you to essentially be a greater person than you can ever be, because it allows you to help people, to solve other people's problems. And also, again, money's not the be-all, end-all, but food, shelter, medical care, there's things that you just need money for. So I almost look, on some level, money's almost like a problem to be solved. I'm not saying it's going to buy happiness, but a lack of money can be a passport to misery. So again, making money is not difficult. There's rules for it. It requires hard work. It requires smart work. And it requires having a cohesive system. When you have that, you can make money and you can live an empowered life. And then you can move on to the higher charitable things and spirituality. But without money, I've seen it all over the world, that people who are struggling financially, it destroys them. It destroys marriages. It complicates people's lives. They don't get to really see the greatest of what the world has to offer. And I believe every human being deserves that. And that doesn't mean that you have to be greedy. It doesn't mean you have to neglect your family. It doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your ethics and integrity. You can have it all. You know the movie Jerry Maguire? They talk about the Kwan, the Kwan, right? What is it? It's the highest of all standards. It's the money, the love, the respect, the passion, the connection, the charitable contribution. It's everything wrapped up into one. And for me, that's what my life's about today, my own personal Kwan. I think every person deserves that.
But how much money are we talking about? For example, we talk about, yes, we need money for all the basics, the shelter, the food, right, the health and everything. But at a certain point, it becomes the search, for more money, and this is where you mentioned, the greed factor, or there is this, going back to that hole again.
Yeah.
If the hole gets, bigger and bigger, then it can never be enough. You can never have too much money. So where does the ethics, the greed?
Here's the way I look at it. Number one, and this is a fact of life, the amount of money that I need to be happy, the amount of money you need to be happy, are very different. And I'm not right and you're not wrong. Every human being has their own beliefs, their own experiences, their own values, their own way they're wired. What's important is this. Every human being needs to have a vision for their own future, a vision of where they're going. And that vision includes where they want to live, what kind of work they want to do, what kind of car they want to drive, what kind of vacations they want to take, how they want to live their life. Based on your vision, then the amount of money that you want to make needs to be congruent with your vision. You don't need to make any more than that unless you want to give it away, which is also a wonderful thing. The problem is when someone has big dreams and low financial standards, then they're always in a place of want and lack. Other people, like the richest person in the world was Mother Teresa. She didn't want any money. She was rich. So for Mother Teresa, it's $10 a week is enough. So there's no right or wrong answer. It comes down to what you want for yourself. And as long as you go about achieving your vision without stepping on people, but elevating other people, to me, that is what success is all about.
Except that sometimes, you have one house and then that's my dream, to have a house. And then after you have one house, I want
This is how we go back to
the holiday home,
Yeah,
the
of course.
vacation
And again,
home. And
listen,
then I want the 4 houses, the 5, and then I want my own, I'm not happy
understand.
with my car, I
Right.
want my private plane. And where does it end, do you
I think again, again, it's always a personal decision. But this is the part where you mention the whole. So you at a point, if your motivation for making money is to make yourself feel better, that's where you're trying to fill the hole. If your motivation is because you're in love with someone and you want to empower your children and you want to give back and experience the greatest of the world has to offer, then go for it. If you want to travel and that requires a certain money, then make the money. If you want 2 or 3 homes because you love to have different homes, make the money. But if it's to cover up negative feelings in your heart, then you're never going to be on that treadmill the rest of your life. So again, it comes down to a bit of knowing who you are. And this is why I always say there's 2 worlds we operate in. There's the inner world of success, the mindset, and then there's the outer world, your strategies for making it in the real world. You have to kind of reconcile both, or else exactly what you're saying is going to happen. You're going to be chasing the dollar, and you say, no matter how much I make, what's next? What's next? That's sort of the achiever's mentality, and also so it's very goal-oriented. They continually say goal after goal after goal, but they're really not attached to an emotional vision for their future. And like I said, if your vision is not just the house or the car, it's how you live your life. It's how you connect with your spirituality, how you give to charity, how you support your children, how you interact with your spouse. It's everything. It's the best of your entire life, almost visualized in the future, and that's not a goal. It's a very different thing. So I'm a big believer in setting goals, but you got to have the vision above your goals, or else it'll be just what you said. What's next? What's next? What's next?
We're trying to fill a
Exactly.
hole. Jordan, do you still have a hole? Is your hole full now?
I think that, I don't think I'll ever be the sort of person that is fully at peace. I don't think I'm ever going to be that way. Maybe one day when, I'll run to the Dalai Lama and he's going to teach me the art of happiness and I'm going to be that guy. I think that I'm wired to always sort of be a little bit on edge, to always have a little bit of lack in my heart. I admit that. I'm the first to admit it. And I think many people are like that. The important thing is that once you understand that, it allows you to deal with any of the negative feelings and to reframe those feelings and say, I know what that is. I know it doesn't serve me. And you can almost start to laugh at yourself as you get older. And you do this reality check, and then I can switch the way I feel about it. I look at it from a different way, and it changes the meaning, and I feel good again.